Venice's world-famous beach and boardwalk have been crippled by a huge increase in robberies, and a homeless camp has resulted in spikes in shooting, arson, and even dog attacks. I watch this channel, and this is a surprise to probably no one. Even if you're not from California, you probably have heard a lot about what's been going on in the beach communities. I watch this channel called German in Venice. He's all about it. He's all about everything Los Angeles, so he's always around there. And Echo Park was another one. They kicked all the homeless out to clean it up. That's the line they use. We need to get a beautification project going. But I was of the understanding that they did the same thing in Venice Beach. So I'm surprised to see this. I would have thought that this would be an article that I would have seen a couple weeks ago, because I thought that they were cleaning everything up. I need to go check his channel out again, I guess. Venice Beach residents say they're terrified of going out after dark due to increasing violence among the homeless community who have set up camp on the boardwalk. They say fistfights occur several times a day. Seems like they might need to just whip out a camera and start doing some on-the-ground reporting. I bet you their channel would grow in subs a lot faster than mine would if they started recording all that drama. And fires and stabbings are commonplace, and violent robberies are up 177% in the neighborhood from last year. Hundreds of residents have signed an open letter to city and county officials begging them for help. Venice's world-famous beach and boardwalk are crippled, it says. Homelessness has increased by 50% in 5 years, according to a recent report. Los Angeles officials are trying to rehouse some of the city's estimated 15,000 chronically homeless residents, many who suffer mental health issues in permanent shelters. Okay, so that's what I was referring to. Photo here, April 20th. You see this. And that's what I was talking about. I was under the understanding that all of this was cleaned up. Here you see a couple officers here. I'm sure that the mentally deranged are really going to be afraid of these two officers, 5'2" each. This here is a photo from April 14th. Look at this. These here, I want to say these are vendor stalls here. I haven't been down to Venice since last year, and it was disgusting. The missus, she hadn't been before, so we went down there. First thing, when we parked, and I think I might have mentioned this in a video maybe a year ago, but the first thing we did when we pulled up and found a parking space, granted it was off of Venice Beach, close walking distance, there was vomit in the road right there and empty bottles of liquor. So it should have been an indication of what was about to come, but it was bad. It wasn't as bad as this, though. Look at this. Venice Beach has traditionally been a major drawcard for tourists, such as the ones above posting for a picture with the Venice sign. Haha. Must say. Bring more of her back. Here we go. In a video posted to social media, a group of men can be seen appearing to throw an accelerant onto a tent fire at a homeless camp left on the Venice Beach boardwalk. The tent then explodes in flames, right? People attempt to put the fire out. I wonder if anybody thought to run to the water and grab a bucket. All kidding aside, I do feel some kind of sympathy for business owners and people who live in the area. But then again, there's always that other side of the coin saying you choose to remain, and you're probably voting for individuals who put these policies in place. We're not talking about Biden. We're not talking about Trump. And probably not even talking about Newsom. We're talking about your local elected officials, your city council members, your congress people that represent these districts, your local DAs, people who allow these things to continue, because these are often more local level issues. Hairdresser Kevin Boutros, 32, who is the owner of the Exquisite Barber Lounge for 5 years, said he suffered 2 violent attacks in recent months. Get a gun. He told Fox News he was attacked in November by a pit bull owned by a homeless person and was knocked unconscious with a skateboard. Jesus. Definitely get a gun. I've given a lot of myself to the community of Venice Beach. Get out, Boutros said. And to see everything just fall to pieces, it's messed up. Leave. And I'm not saying that cynically. I'm saying get the F out. Let it die from the ashes, right? You don't owe anything. Find somewhere else. Find somewhere safe. Find somewhere where this kind of stuff is not allowed to continue. You can always come back 5 or 10 years from now if they clean stuff up. Oh, they'll figure it out. Once they allow things to get so bad and so ruined that the money dries up, then, they'll start figuring things out real quick. That's what it's all about. Your complaints probably don't mean anything, but once they see that tax revenue dry up, tourists dry up, they'll start to figure it out. Boutra said the suspect in his attack was arrested and released days later amid efforts by LA County to cut the number of jail inmates over concerns about the spread of the 19. Hundreds of residents have put their signatures to a letter pleading for help from city and county officials. Hundreds of residents. Let's look at something real quick. Venice. And they said hundreds of residents have put their signature to it. I was just curious. I went to the population here. It looks like the population of Venice is 32,773. So let's say it was hundreds of residents. Let's say it was 999, because if it were 1,000, then they would tell us it was more than 1,000. You're telling me that at most, let's say it was 999, then only 1 in 32 or 1 in 33 people have put their name on a signature to get stuff going, and probably a lot less. We're assuming best case scenario, and granted things change over time. But that's the problem. People are just hiding out in their homes, not caring. 999 people at most out of 32,000 people? Seems like nobody cares. Seems like it's not a big problem. Local children are refusing to come to the beach because they're frightened by what they've witnessed. Seniors who live on or near the boardwalk are terrified of walking in their own neighborhoods. Local neighborhood city council member Soledad Ursua said the homeless encampment had exploded during the lockdowns. She said residents were afraid to be out after dark, and there were fights several times a day and shootings and stabbings on a weekly basis. It's just a very dangerous time to be a Venice resident right now, she said. Man, if I lived right by a boardwalk. Now granted, I live only 3 miles from an ocean. Well, my place is safe. Where I'm at, Orange County, being what it is, to not be able to go out and jog, rollerblade, walk around, take your dog out there, take your kids. It's all local. As I said, you've got to get these people out of office that are allowing this to happen. Earlier this year, Klaus Moeller, the co-owner of Ben & Jerry's at Venice Beach, said he was closing his ice cream store after a huge increase in crime and homeless camps during the pandemic. Ben & Jerry's, we know what their politics are, so yeah. A report released earlier this year by the University of California in Los Angeles found homeless rates had increased by 50% in 5 years, which they told us about earlier. Yum. Always love seeing that, right? They say again here, hundreds of residents have signed a letter asking for help from city and county officials to counter the recent crime wave. You've got to be active. You've got to be on whatever, Facebook, Twitter, locally, organizing, getting people together. Hundreds out of a city of 32,000. Granted, not all of them are of voting age. There's more. According to figures from the LAPD provided to the Venice Neighborhood Council, the violent robberies in the neighborhood are up 177% from last year. The same period has also seen a 162% increase in cases of assault with a deadly weapon involving a homeless person. Videos depicting fires, fights, and harassment are often a common sight on social media. So there you go. People are out there putting this stuff on social media, which I suggested earlier. Maybe I need to get down there and see what's going on. Or should I say, get up there and see what's going on. They talk about the tent fire that I spoke of earlier. And then they mentioned somebody's pet dog. Oh, okay. I'm surprised that didn't get the news out there. The pet had become the latest victim of Venice's continued degeneration when a transient threw an accelerant into his home. The pet, think of the pets. Here's more, not on the beach. Woo. Vote for Democrats, win stupid prizes. I feel sorry for our friends across the pond. Dems have turned once great places into war zones. Now they are doing it to the whole country. A Democrat utopia, someone says. Another Daily Bash California story, also known as reporting on the news. Oh, please don't report the news if it makes my team look bad. All of you in the right, what do you do with your homeless? I believe you do nothing, but your police. Give them bus fare to LA or any place else. Then you blame liberals. It's like blaming the wolves of Tropical Island for all the plastic washing up in the beach, as if they created all the mess. All of you in the right. Interesting. Interesting that somebody would choose to be such a loser. And there are millions of blind people like this across the U.S. What is it? See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil? It must be someone else's fault. It couldn't possibly be the fault of the local jurisdictions and those politicians involved, even if what he's saying is true, that people are getting sent there. What are they doing to solve it? What are they doing to resolve the situation? This guy over here, just posting comments, refuses to place the blame where it belongs. He's probably one of those same kind of guys in a video I'm about to shoot, not sure if that'll come out before or after this one, where California's population declined for the first time in history, and they blame Trump. You've got to wake up, people. If you don't place the blame where it belongs, if you aren't smart enough to do that, then the problems never get better. And that's anything, any problem. You have to be willing to do the difficult thing and point the finger at your own team, even if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. All right, it's Venice's fault allowing the illegal migrants into the country in the first place. Yeah, I don't know about all that. There's a house next door to Harry and his wife for sale. Maybe the county can buy that and house them there. I'm pretty sure they would be warmly welcomed by Harry and his wife. Nice. All Democrat states are full of trash. I wouldn't go that far either. 31 million illegals allowed in by Democrats. Very funny. I hope the trash destroys California. I disagree with the illegals. Remember, there was a mass legalization under Reagan, and both Democrat and Republican politicians go along with this kind of stuff because, to varying degrees, they see the benefits of it, or rather those who fund those politicians see the benefit from it. Again, you've got to make sure to point the finger properly at everyone causing the problem or it never gets solved. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Maybe I'll hit Venice one day soon, maybe next month in June, come back and do a little update or report on it. So take care, everyone. Be well.